I want to turn now to an update from NBC News. NBC News leadership has announced that former RNC chair Ronna McDaniel will not be an NBC News contributor. We have a new email and update that's come out just within this hour. So this is sort of breaking news here within our organization on a story that has garnered significant attention and criticism. And what I'm going to do now, to be very clear, is read the entire update from NBC Universal News Group Chairman Cesar Conde.
Just 5 days after Ronna McDaniel joined NBC as a political analyst, the network has decided to cut ties with her after an immense wave of internal backlash. Max Tawney with Semaphore obtained a copy of the memo sent to NBCU's staff from Chairman Cesar Conde. Hey all, there is no doubt that the last several days have been difficult for the news group. After listening to the legitimate concerns of many of you, I have decided that Ronna McDaniel will not be an NBC News contributor. The memo continued, no organization, particularly a newsroom, can succeed unless it is cohesive and aligned. Over the last few days, it has become clear that this appointment undermines that goal. I want to personally apologize to our team members who felt we let them down. While this was a collective recommendation by some members of our leadership team, I approved it and take full responsibility for it. Our initial decision was made because of our deep commitment to presenting our audiences with a widely diverse set of viewpoints and experiences, particularly during these consequential times. We continue to be committed to the principle that we must have diverse viewpoints on our programs. And to that end, we will redouble our efforts to seek voices that represent different parts of the political spectrum. When McDaniel was brought on, Carrie Budoff-Brown, who was the senior vice president of Meet the Press, said in a statement, "It couldn't be a more important moment to have a voice like Ronna's on the team. McDaniel will provide an insider's perspective on national politics and the future of the Republican Party." McDaniel was originally supposed to appear on both NBC News and make appearances on sister network and MSNBC. Within a day of the news, MSNBC President Rashida Jones, in an effort to tamp down the backlash, was telling staffers McDaniel would not be appearing on MSNBC. Within 24 hours of her interview on Meet the Press airing, McDaniel took a beating from many on-air hosts, including Chuck Todd, Joe Scarborough, Mika Brzezinski, Nicole Wallace, Joy Reid, Jen Psaki, and Rachel Maddow, who called for the network to fire her on air yesterday. You wouldn't hire a made man like a mobster to work at a DA's office, right? You wouldn't hire a pickpocket to work as a TSA screener. So I find the decision to put her on the payroll inexplicable, and I hope they will reverse their decision. Cenk, it's been a whirlwind couple days over at NBC News. We talked last week about how bad of an idea this was to hire her in the first place. How did they walk into this blunder with what we saw as a pretty obvious understanding that this was a bad idea?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different angles to this story. Were they right to fire her? Yes, but are some of the people who called for that firing giant hypocrites? Also yes. So hold on for that. But to answer Jordan's question, look at that graphic that Jordan read for you. In the beginning, when they first hired her, they said that McDaniel will provide an insider's perspective on national politics. Ooh, that'll be a first on cable news. Everyone there is an insider. What do you need another insider perspective for? So that the way they hire people is fundamentally broken. They think outsiders are useless, and you should never hear from outsiders. And I mean, outsiders can't promise them access, beloved, cherished access. By the way, they also can't provide them $17 billion in political advertising, which is what they get on average in midterms, let alone presidential elections. And the former heads of the RNC and the DNC, they're the ones who make the decisions for NBC News and others to get that kind of advertising. So if they wind up being hired for a lot of money afterwards by these news organizations, maybe the current heads of the RNC, DNC, and other political players will realize, be good boys and girls, buy ads from those guys to the tune of billions of dollars, and you'll get a giant paycheck at the end. An insider's perspective, that's what NBC News thought they were missing? Everyone at NBC is an insider. And look at it. So now let me go to the hypocrites. Joe Scarborough, former Republican congressman, insider. What do we need your information for? And you're not biased? You're massively biased. Nicole Wallace, are you kidding me? She was a communications director for George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. That means her job was to lie on behalf of that awful administration. And we got a problem with Ronna McDaniel? Look, I've got a problem with Ronna McDaniel. All these people in their beef with her are not wrong that she helped lie about January 6th. She helped lie about a so-called stolen election. She doesn't care about the truth at all. But Nicole Wallace was an angel while she was making things up for Bush and Cheney? No, she was also a giant liar on behalf of an administration. Jen Psaki was an angel for the Biden administration, right? Like if you're a Democrat right now, your heart's broken that I even said Jen Psaki and Ronna McDaniel in the same sentence. No, everybody knows Democratic spokespeople are honest and pure and angels. No, Jen Psaki lied for the Biden administration. That's the job of the press secretary. You think they're telling you the truth the whole time? You think they're not covering up what went wrong and doing damage control? Well, if you think that, you literally don't know politics. So, okay, yes, Ronna McDaniel's lies endangered our democracy more. But in a room full of insiders who all lied on behalf of the powerful and whose job is to mainly do that now, please cry me a river about how you found a no good insider who prevaricates in your midst, and you're shocked and chagrined to find that out. Please, please.
I always wonder whenever they hire these people, who is that for? Because you, especially in the instance of party or administration spokespeople, let's just talk about press secretaries, Jen Psaki, Simone Sanders, also filtered over to MSNBC. These are people who stood there defiant in the face of your own network's reporters' questions. They're pulling teeth from these people, trying to get the truth out about what the administration is doing, and they're lying and they're spinning. And as soon as they're done, it's, hey, here you go, here's a job. And I understand there's a news side and an opinion side, but broadly speaking, that's just so strange to me that you reward these people. It's an indictment and a problem with our media. So I'm thankful for networks like TYT that isn't going to offer like Karine Jean-Pierre a job after this. There's no place here for someone like that, someone who's known to be a spinster. But the Ronna McDaniel thing was always weird to me from the beginning. Like you said, the January 6th thing, she was complicit in it. She really was active in trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Although on Meet the Press this weekend, she lied about it. But it was good to see people like Chuck Todd, who isn't some liberal or progressive champion, see it for what it was. Like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing here? Sure, there are people on the network who also probably don't belong there. But this one was just so egregious. It made you wonder what the thinking was beyond just the access or the insider's look for her to begin with. It seemed like such an easy decision not to bring her on. It was really strange that she ended up there to begin with.
No, I don't find that strange at all. So that's because, Jordan, you're a good person who doesn't have an insider's perspective. Insiders think that other insiders are the greatest gifts to humanity. And so like when one of them leaves the administration, they're like, oh, who's gonna get him? I remember when Jake Carney left and he was a spokesperson for Obama. Oh my God, they were just all fighting over themselves. Oh, Jake Carney. For what? His job was to spin reality on behalf of Obama. And they were tripping over themselves. It turns out Amazon paid him so much that he wound up becoming their corporate spokesperson. Because really, what difference does it make? These are all widgets and robots. And if you find that offensive, look, is Ronna McDaniel worse than them? Yes, because she helped to try to orchestrate a coup. The bar is so low and she couldn't even clear that bar. That part is true. But the rest of it is total nonsense complaints. Nonsense, it's total theater. So look, I give you a perfect example of it. So Nicole Wallace was a spokesperson for the Bush administration. Simone Sanders for a while was a spokesperson for Bernie Sanders. And Jen Psaki was a spokesperson for the Biden administration. All very different politically. Yet magically, when they go to MSNBC, they all say the same thing. I wonder how that happened. They all changed their minds to get to the same exact groupthink as every other host on MSNBC. That's the magic trick. That's the theater that they're putting on a play for you guys. No, MSNBC wants anchors to say a certain thing. No one knows that better than me. I was there. I was their 6 o'clock anchor. And they would tell me when I was going outside the bounds. There are bounds, and you're supposed to say that the Democratic Party is great, and that's the home team, and there's 100 other things. But so it's not like they give them memos and go, hey, this is your script, and say it. But the group think they will not hire anyone. And look at them turning on Ronna McDaniel. Like, she does not have the same group think as us. She must be ejected. And they did, they ejected her. Again, in this case, they happen to be right. But please spare me your crocodile tears about the purity you have at MSNBC as you bring people from every part of politics and they magically, robotically say the same exact thing. The whole game is rigged in the first place. I said the word rigged. MSNBC attack. Pretend you don't understand what the word means. So this is the same garbage. So Ronna McDaniel's out, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get anything close to truth from MSNBC or Fox News or CNN.
But the saga is not over yet, and she's not leaving empty-handed. So what's next? According to Mediaite, because the deal was reportedly signed, NBC will have to pay out McDaniel. Her contributor deal was reportedly set at $300,000 a year. Max Tawney with Semaphore also reported on X. According to a source familiar, CAA recommended to Ronna McDaniel last night that she get a lawyer and prepare for a potential exit fight with NBC. She was traveling today and was on a plane for much of the day, having just interviewed for a job on a corporate board. Another person familiar told me she found out her termination this afternoon in the media. Jenk, she leaves with $300,000 and already has a corporate board seat lined up. Man, it is pretty tough to be an insider.
So that's exactly, if you wondered, hey, why do they lie on behalf of Trump? I mean, isn't it humiliating, embarrassing and stuff? No, they got corporate board positions lined up the gazoo. They're all gonna get rich. They're all famous. And I was an MSNBC contributor. Do you have any idea how easy that job is? That's the easiest job in the world. You just show up like once every other week, talk for like 5 minutes. It's just so unbelievably easy. And so she was gonna get $300,000 for that. But now that they fired her, she probably gets the $300,000 right away. So great, you got her fired. She gets a check probably because of legal costs immediately.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive
in the soft embrace of morning light, rocky and warm yet hopeful inside. A whisper of promise, a sense so sweet, reviving energy with every heartbeat. Oh yeah, stumbling down the stairs with grace, favorite mug and cherished embrace. Each sip, a dance of enchantment, caffeine's elixir, a daily enchantment. Ooh, yeah. Coffee in the morning, my lifeline. Guiding through life's chaotic design, finding every sip of morning zest. In that brew, I find my best. The morning sun, a gentle caress, bathing the world in warmth no less. A symphony of flavors in every pore, awakening senses, a ritual to adore. The kitchen hums a quiet tune as dreams unfold not too soon. my spirit aligns. I'm a cradled, a vessel of tales. Each sip, a dialogue as morning unveils. Bitterness, a new world of tales. As the day unfolds, a caffeinated tale. In morning symphony, where moments prevail. Coffee, my companion in the sunrise quest. In the ritual morning, my eternal zest. The world awakens, a canvas so bright. In the palette of dawn, a captivating sight. A dance of flavors, a morning trend.